So, welcome back. If you guys got like 6 minutes of unedited feed while I was prepping the last 6 minutes and kind of going all over the place. So, rather than edit it, we ended it. And so now, welcome back, those of you that are joining me. So, let me make sure it's broadcasting in the correct group. There we go. Let me go ahead and slide this. Let me get all of my housekeeping stuff done. So welcome everyone. We're going to be making a lavender rose wreath today. I'm trying to get everything all going. Okay, come on. Lordy. Okay, it's just being so hypersensitive right now. Anytime you want to play. There we go, pin. Man, Facebook today, just a challenge. So welcome all of you that are joining me. Beverly from Chicago. And I saw a couple other people that were on there earlier, so I'm hoping you guys are all going to slowly rejoin. Like I said, we're making a lavender heart-shaped wreath. I did one earlier this year, 11 months ago, to be honest. And we did a red one. So now we're going to be doing, it's a combination of a like pale pink and a deep lavender. So we're going to see how that turns out. I was trying to think. I had pink roses, but the pink roses I'm not a fan of because they don't really have backing on them. I'll show them to you here in a second, but let me get through the housekeeping stuff. If you want to save this tutorial and you're on Facebook, just hit the share button. It'll share this to your Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, you have, once you subscribe to the channel, you have the ability to either, I think it's download the video, or you can save it based on whatever files you have set up. Also, I just pinned the link to my website. So see, I didn't have time to go in and put this available to be listed for sale, but that'll go up after this goes into replay status and I work on taking all the photos and stuff and get that all ready. But hard to believe we are just literally on the cusp of Christmas, like 2 weeks, right? And then it'll be Christmas time. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome back. Thank you guys for, I didn't even realize that Facebook just went live all by itself. I don't know how that's possible because you literally have to push a couple buttons in order to get it to go live. So I just don't know how that did that accidentally. But I'd be honored if you guys like and follow my page. The like button's easy to find. The follow button is hidden. So if you just go from the like over to the 3 dots, open that little sub menu, you can actually follow the page. And then that way, when we go live, you'll be notified and you'll be able to join on a Facebook Live. Also, my private group is open. So 3 different ways to join now. You can go monthly at $27 a month, which gives you both business and design classes for the rest of this year. It's going to change going into 2024. Those will be separate. But once you're in, you're grandfathered in. Nothing changes for you. So make sure that you have the opportunity to get in now so your rates never go up. As long as you stay consistent, doesn't matter what we do to the rates, they stay consistent. You can also join yearly. So you can save 2 months. You pay for 10 and get 2 months free if you go with the yearly subscription. And then just this month, we launched the lifetime membership. So there is an option as a totally separate listing for you to pay one. It's called One and Done. And pay once and then you're a lifetime subscriber. So you never have to worry about anything else. So hi, Brooklyn, all the way from New Jersey. So those are pinned below. I'm going to go ahead and pan you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. So just bear with me. I kind of felt this would be better if we did an overhead view. So you can see the colors of the roses that we're using. We're using a lavender. And this is, it's kind of like a cross between pink and lavender. And at first I was like, oh, because that's how they came shipped in the box. I'm like, oh, isn't that pretty? Let's do a combination like that, because purple has a tendency of being very popular for women. And I started thinking that's pink. But then, let me show you what the pink ones look like. This is pink. So there is a big, huge difference in the color. So this is a more of a light lavender, although it doesn't appear that way when you put them together. So I wanted to show you this is the true pink. This is more of a lavender color. So it's these two that we're going to be doing. And this is what I'm saying about the pink, is they don't have a backing. Whereas like the lavender and this one have the little leaf backing to them. So I will be posting the Amazon affiliate links for the roses, as well as the burlap that we're using, which is going to be the backing for this. So we're using the Dollar Tree heart-shaped frame. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to add my hanger first. So I thought it'd be really pretty because we're doing the back with like a ivory colored burlap. That's going to be the backing for this. So I kind of felt that it should be like a little bit of kind of a glamour look to this. So I am just going to trim this. And then we're just going to make a hanger before we start gluing everything together. So I'm going to go right here at the top. And we're just going to give it a nice lace hanger. I'm usually not too good at the whole bow thing and gauging distance, but we'll go here, do another double knot to make sure that does not separate. There we go. And then we'll make sure we glue it in place so it doesn't slide around. Although once we get to that point with the roses, it'll kind of secure that in place. I'm hoping I'll have enough of this left so we can add this to the bow at the end. It's just going to be a small little bow. So I'm going to add this right now. Okay. So what you're going to need to do when you buy your roses, you're going to get 50 of them in a box. So I've already removed the stem on the first 25. You will need 36. So you need to buy the bigger pack. And this is the way they come. So we're going to do the next. That would make that 30. There's 35. And I'm going to wait. But they are wired roses. So what so you can use them in floral arrangements. You can use them in your wreaths. So we are just removing the ends. You can't pull them out, because if you pull them out, you will destroy how the roses are created. So just snip them right at the base. And then I save these wires, because a lot of times I need an extra ribbon or an extra wire for a design, and it never fails. You can never find one when you need one. Here's the last one. And so I just take these, stretch them out, gather them all up, and then I just hang on to these, because these make perfect picks, like wire, because they're nice thick wire if you needed like a ribbon pick for something. So there we go. And I just kind of keep them in a really super cute milk bottle. So I have these ready to go. So just like that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start gluing. I have my glue gun set for, I'm trying to get them all out of the center of the form. It's on high. And so we're going to start at the bottom, right here at the bottom. We're going to do the inside first. So I'm a fan of purple, so we're going to start with our purple here. So I'm going to flip it over on the back so that I can see the touch points of where that rose hits that frame, so that I can secure that. And I need my silicone mat. There we go. Until this all sets up. So there is our first rose on the wreath. And then we're going to go ahead and we're alternating the lighter lavender with this. I like to angle them a little bit more towards the center. If you don't, when you have them like this is going to be the look that you see from the side. So you'll be able to see, you know, we want to kind of dip them down a bit so that we don't see that. So I do butt them right up against one another. Again, same thing. Right across and right across. Flip this back over, and I'm just going to stay on the same rung all the way through. I'm going to make sure that these match up really pretty. Again, making sure we dip down just a bit. And you're not going to see any of this anyway, because the back is going to be completely covered. And I try to squeeze in about 3 into this section. So 3 of the roses will fill that section. That gives it enough time and enough space to kind of like really get that in there so that we don't see daylight through there. Flip that back over. And we're back here with our purple. So sometimes it's just a matter of turning your roses to try to find the best possible look. Sometimes it's got a little bit longer of a tail there. And these, by the way, I forgot to mention that, these are foam roses, but they are amazing. I mean, the quality, honestly, on these is just amazing. So we're going to come in here. And like I said, see, just taking your roses and just rotating them, you can find a suitable look that you're striving for. I kind of like that for my roses. Again, towards the center, pivoting them down a bit. And I'm just gluing on all the touch, wherever they're touching that rail. Flipping that back over. Again, silicone pad helps keep your mess contained off that mat. That one feels a little big. Sometimes it's just go find a different one. And I'm going to put that one in. Here's our lavender. We've got 3 touch points here. Up and around. Hi, Pat. Hi, Diane. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Have you guys done a foam rose wreath before? I'm trying to make sure that I have adequate inventory and adequate stock. So many times we stop at one, like a one and done kind of thing, and then we don't make any more. You know, we're thrilled that, you know, the one that we had sold, but then we just stop. We don't make any more. And that one still feels a little big. So right in there. I can't squish them in too much, but I always want to make sure that each section is about as full as it could possibly be. So we'll come in here. Sometimes it's just finesse that, like that worked out perfect. Here. Flip this back over, move all your glue threads. Will this one finally have a home? No, he's still too big. Okay, see what I'm saying? We're trying to get 3 in. So sometimes it's just moving them over. Because you want it full. You don't want to see light, meaning that when it goes up on whatever type of door that a client has, You don't want to see light through there. And I'm going to let this one just kind of fan over the frame. Here's all of our touch. Let's see if we can finally get this purple one in. I like how that leans forward. I'm going to just bring it a little bit closer to that center. And then we'll grab our, oh, this one's going to be interesting. I'm looking, 1, 2, 3. We really needed one more in there. There's no way that we can do that. Because I'm like, we have just enough. And if I put this here, it's going to look really weird. See if we can kind of squish that together. I don't think I'll be able to get 2 in, but maybe we can go back in and rework the top, because I don't have enough to just like find the biggest, fluffiest one. It won't really work to cover that. Let's see, can we bring this one down? If we can bring this one down a bit, we can probably fill. Let me look. Let's see if we can get that one off, and then we can just not squish it quite as tight. Okay, so I'm going to work back this way so that we have a little bit more space. Let's get the glue out of the way. Hey, remember that really big rose we can use? I'm going to just move that there so it's pretty. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and glue this in. Glue that in. And then I'm going to glue this one in as well. See, when you're working with a salt like the same color all the way through, not something you need to worry about, because everything is exactly the same. So when you go and you nestle another red in there, it's not a problem child. But I love the way this is looking so far. What do you guys think? Tanika said I made one, a yellow and white one. How'd that turn out? I bet that was beautiful. And so now my whole goal is going to be at the bottom to try to make sure that I was trying to get these to where they would be opposite on the bottom. But as you can tell, if we do that, we have some finagling to do. Because normally it would go right in there with the 3 at the bottom. And if I do another purple, I don't like the way that looks. I like the off center. So let's see if we can find a wide pink like this. Just remember, those challenges will manifest two-tone. You really have to watch your placement, and I want them a little bit off center. So as I'm bringing these down, I want them to kind of come down off the side a bit. So these are going to actually go in that space, but I'm looking for a rose that has some things that tend to overlap right here. So for example, let me look. I liked how this one had a really long overlap. So we're going to try that. We need this right in here, which is an odd place to place them, but it's just at the bottom corner. so that it'll kind of go in conjunction with the other. See what I'm saying? We're trying to toggle the opposite colors. And then this needs to be purple over here. So I want to make sure that I'm looking for ones that have a really nice overlap, meaning it's longer on one side. So when I go to put that in, it matches inside that hole like this one does. Okay, that'll work. And who knows what it's going to look like by the time I get to the top, because we have a longer stretch. So it might just be really funky at that point. So I think we're going to have slight overlaps anyway, just like this and that. But I think for the most part, it looks okay. I'm always trying to make sure how do they go in. Flipping. And then this purple one's going to kind of fit right in here, which is a really pretty look. We're kind of getting back into our little groove. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to finish that bottom section. Looking for a really long, like long rose. It'll fill. I think this one might work. So that when I come in and add our purple, we finish that one section right there. And it's still weird here. So this goes here, this goes here. This is going to go in, and then I think it's going to kind of be a weird wrap here because we just have so many more. We'll see if we can stretch it though. We did it here. We only did 3. But here we're doing 1, 2, 3, and we're trying to I think I can get that one to stretch quite all the way around. Let's do our pink and then we'll figure it out. So I've got 1, 2 in here. These ones went down a bit further. So we can't do it that way. Seeing it here, it's manifesting here. So even if we added the pink to here, it's just going to keep going. So I'm just going to follow the pattern as best as I can and trust the process that it'll all work out in the end. Because it looks weird to put 2 together rather than keep the same going. Just like that. This will be our pink. Because see, now we have purple here. And then we have kind of like a weird pink. And then it's going to go purple. And then it'll probably be another pink. So it just kind of shifts, but it is what it is. Because I can't get another purple in here. Like these would look weird if I did this. Like here. And then did 2 pinks here. See what I'm saying? It would look weird. I'm just looking at placement right now. Nope, it's still gonna look weird. So we're just following our pattern. all the way around. Let's get our pink in here. Whoop. Trying to find the best way, because I'm trying not to see light. So here's this one. And we'll continue going around with our purple. And I'm going to try to pack these in a little bit more, so maybe they'll kind of offset themselves if we squish more in. You know what I'm saying? Like right there. It kind of looks nice. So I'm really going to squeeze in. Again, bringing that in a little tighter. Then we'll bring our purple in, and then it'll start to match a little bit more at the top, which I like. So that worked out good. And then we'll make sure these can nestle in, because I like to see all the petals. And when I glue my hanger in, I want to glue it with so that the knot stays at the bottom with the tied ends, so that we have a nice look here. So I think it'll be, squeeze one more in here. We'll glue our hanger. Actually, I'm going to glue the hanger first. So right at the center, I'm going to glue my knot so that the knot does not move. And then I can go ahead and just continue with my flower forms all the way around. Hi Pat, welcome. Okay, so now we're going to come in with this touch here. Flip this over. Here's our pink, which is turning out nicely. I'm going to look at how the rest of these will play out and see if we put our one here and put them in here, put them in tight, so that it keeps the look looking really good all the way through. Oop. See, we run the risk again of doing this double thing. I think we'll do it like so, and then that'll finish the look around the loop. That works. So, purple. Then we'll add in our pink. Then we have purple and pink. And there we go. That's the way it's going to complete the look. That works. And squish in our last one right there. Okay. Let's get that over. We'll remove the glue threads that are in the center. I'm going to rotate this so you can see what the finished design looks like. Again, like I said, if you wanted to, you could come in, you could incorporate some leaves to the outside if you wanted. When I've done my rose wreath, I don't use the foam pieces or the little extra leaves, but I do make sure that I don't see like any of the green at the bottom or like in between. I always want to make sure it's nicely covered. So now we're going to cover the back to hide all the mechanics. So this is where we're taking our ivory burlap, and it goes easy for the first part because it's just a straight home stretch. So this is just 5.5 inch burlap. It's the wide. And what we're going to do is take it and we're folding it. Just like so. And we're going to start right here at the bottom, making sure we've got a nice even line. So it's going to cover up everything on the outside. So I'm going to start right here in that first section and go all the way up. I don't want to go too far too quick, but I do need a starting point, and I don't want this to hang over the edge. Just like that, but I do want it to completely cover everything, and then it creates a nice soft look for the back. So we're going to go all the way up to the frame right here. Same way, keep it folded, and then right here we're going to pleat it. So it's going to have a pleated look to it. So in order for us to go around, we need to pleat like so. So you're going to have a couple pleats here to keep it looking really nice. So our touch point is going to be here and here. So I'm going to glue where it's going to touch, and then I'm stopping. And then I'm going to lift up the underside right where that fold is, and we want to glue that pleat down so it doesn't flip open. And I know for a lot of you this may seem like, well, why is she taking so much time to work on the back? It's super simple. I just like it to look finished and not like I just took some felt and just slapped it onto the back, or added a whatchamacallit, like a wreath, like cut out a placemat to fit in there. So again, I'm just taking my time to cover my touch points. I hate when my glue gun falls over. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to glue the underside at the beginning and at the ends right there, so that stays folded and flat. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're always just folding it, pleating it as it makes its way around. So here, and then we go a little bit further on the top than we do the bottom. So pleat and pleat here. And then we'll pleat one, I think it's like 1 or 2 more times. Just like that is how it's going to stay. So right here, right here. I'm going to put my pleat in. So ender, ender. So those will stay nice and flat. We have, I think it's 1 more before we hit the center. Right there. So I'm going to go slightly over my ribbon here, but I want to make sure it stays out so it's not glued down. Glue your pleats down. This also helps keep the light from shining through. Okay, here once we get to the center, we're just going to pleat and then just make sure you're working your way up the center like this. So I'm going to pull this back. Allow this to fall forward, but not past our roses. And then here at the top, that falls right in line. Going under. There we go. And then sometimes it just works out better for you. You know, as you get to a certain point, you'll be able to just get it to go. I usually stop at every little intersection to readjust my pleat. So this is going to get us right to about here. And then we'll have to pleat around the corner. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pleat it. So this is going to go in here. Do the same up here. Just small little increments. We'll add our pleat again to get us back on track. Just a little spot right here, because then we have to pleat again because we're making the turn around the corner. Right there. Gonna tag the top. And then right here at the bottom. And I'll come back and I'll tag the folds so they stay flat. I think we've got like 1 or 2 more pleats. And then we should be set. And then we can just go down the home stretch. right there. Keeping our burlap evenly folded. Trying to get my last pleat in, which is going to be right here. And then we're going to just end it there. But I've got to glue it first. So I'm going to do the top, and then I'll do the side, and then we'll go back and we'll tag all these so the pleats stay pleated. And the reason why I double up on the burlap is just for coverage. If I just did a single layer, you'd be able to see everything right through the burlap. So here, I'm going in, and we're tagging down our pleats. And then we just have our home stretch, which is super simple. So we are going to leave this just a touch longer than it needs to be, but I'm going to get rid of the weight from that burlap because I want to finish this end in a really nice pleat. So I'm going to just finish this right along here, and it hides all of the mechanics on the how. How did they do that? And then here, I'm going to cut this at an angle just to cut the tips off so I don't have to fold and have so much weight at the bottom. I want it in a really nice, pretty point right here. Just like so. So finish it out. I want to make sure that does not that stays nice and flush. So that it all ends nice and pretty at the bottom in a nice point. So I'm just trimming my burlap threads off. There we go. So there's the back. Looks just as pretty as our front. Here's our front with our hanger. And let me, because I see this is starting to show, we're going to go ahead and make sure this stays on the underside of where we intended our base to fit. Nice, just like so. Okay, now everything is covered. For me, I look in here and I can kind of see the underside. So I am going to go back in on this little lip here. And I'm just going to tag that under. the underside. So I'm just going right under the lip of my burlap, kind of folding and tucking it in. Just right here. Because sometimes you can look in there and you see, this is that whole perfection side of me. Just kind of coming through at this point going, okay. But when I look at it from here, I see a perfect finish. Like I don't see my burlap. I don't want to see it hanging down. So you have the option of trimming it, or you can just fold it down. So I'm just taking and folding it under the rail. Just like so. Just small little pieces, like right here. Take it and just tuck it. There we go. So now it's nice and pretty. So you have a couple of options now when it comes to your embellishing. You can just leave it like this, or you can add a bow to it. So I'm going to make a bow, but it's going to be an optional bow. Like they can put it on, or they can choose to leave it off. So I'm just going to, I wasn't sure which one of these. I think I'm going to go with the lighter purple. And we're just going to do a really simple bow. So we're just going to bring our wired edges together. We're going to cut from the folded side down to the wired point. And I want to look and see like, hey, how far do I really want that ribbon tail hanging down if we kind of tuck it in here at the beginning. So not too far, maybe a little bit longer, like right there. So let me measure that. So that is 5 inches. So from 5 inches, we're going to measure off another 7. So that'll make a 3.5 inch loop. Okay. We're going to twist. We're going to measure off another 7 inches. Bring that together. Twist. And then we're going out 5 inches for our loop. Just like so. I'm going to grab my bow dabber just so I don't have to hold it to put my dovetail in. So just like this. It just gives me an extra pair of hands. So I can make sure I have really good loop on it. And then let's see if we have enough to make another bow. So I'm going to measure 5. See 7. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit so it's not quite as long. Let's look. I want to see if this will work. So I'm bringing it in just a little bit smaller. I may not like the way it looks, so we'll see. So I'm going to twist this one more time because I like the lace edge to fall back. And then right about there. I think we have too big of a loop on this side. And then we'll cut this one down. I'm going to do it at an angle. So if I did it that way, I have to look at which way I want to do my angle. Just like this. Okay. So let's see if that works. Let's get a purple, get a lavender pipe cleaner and see if that lace bow works. So we're going to put it right where our lace hanger is at the top. So I'm just going to pick this up. I'm going to drop that right inside. Give it a couple twists. Bring all of our tails down. Open the loop. This tail, that loop feels a little longer than it should be. So let's go ahead and readjust this. If you wanted to, you could glue the lace on, but I don't like doing that. And then right here at the center, I'm going to take a little white pearl that I have set over here, and I'm going to tack that right down to the center of our bow. So it kind of gives it a vintage look. And even though this is scheduled for Valentine's Day, because of the colors and because I did not use any heart, it could go for spring. Honestly, it could go for just about anything. And you have the option, you could put it off to the side. You could put it in the center, which is where I like it. You could put it off to the opposite side. It's entirely up to you. So the bow will always come as a added accent. So right now I'll just leave it on here for the photos, which is super simple. We know where everything is because you know how you designed it. I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this right into the back. I'm hoping it'll go through both of those layers of burlap. It's trying to make its way through. You could just use a needle, a yarn needle, to get it through as well. Let me try to get this in right where I want it to be. It's in there. I got it. So I'm going to pull this one up while I pull that one in and down. And then we'll just readjust our loops like so for that bow. And there is your bow. Just like so. Let's trim this one so they both end right at the same. So what do you guys think? Super simple. Just like so. I'm going to flip you up and we're going to put it on the door so we can see exactly what that looks like. Here we go. Hang on. Hi all. Okay, we're going to take this one down. And we're going to go ahead and tuck this one up so you can see about where this falls on a standard front door, standard 36-inch door. Remove all your glue threads. That'll be like a predominant thing on all your photos. You want to make sure that you have your glue threads removed. Just like so. I think you guys can see that. So this is perfect for smaller doors because this is what it looks like on a regular front door, 36-inch door. So if you think about an interior door space, it is 12 inches shy of that. So probably like right around here somewhere. So from here to here is roughly your door size. Picture this over a bed, like in your guest room. You could put it in your bathroom, wherever you kind of want to add that little touch of elegance. It's a great Mother's Day gift, great Easter wreath. Trying to think of what else. Perfect for Valentine's Day, anniversary, just because. So if you have a fondness for purple like I do, definitely you can do that. Like I said, if you wanted to add your little rose ends, you could definitely come in and tuck little wisps of that, but I like it without the greenery. What do you guys think? What do you think? Oh, thank you, Joan. She says, beautiful cat. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Hi, Mary Carol. Right. You can totally add baby's breath. You could come in and you could add lamb's ear. That's soft, sagey white. You could come in and add some of that, but absolutely, you can definitely make it your own. Thank you, Sue. Okay, well, that's all I have for you for today. For Valentine's Day. So I think there's enough tutorials there. I have one for the red, I have one for a black, and we have one for purple. So I hope you guys all have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you all soon, but don't give up creating. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now, everyone.